Beautiful people, what is going on? It's your girl, Phoenix Soul. We're here at RSVP talking all things love, sex, and relationships.
And it's your boy, Frederic De Jesus. You know who it is.
And we have the beautiful Milan Elize. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing amazing. So glad to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our last episode, Spinning the Block, was definitely one of my favorites.
Right? I love that episode. I had so much fun.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's a great conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Surprisingly, that was like his
that
favorite.
Was my topic.
That was his topic.
It was a good topic.
It was a very good topic.
Yeah.
Today we're talking high value. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a high value person is a person that's true to their values. Their person is driven by the importance of their own influence. Now, while the culture often simply bases high value on the context of dollars, we are basing value on value, right? So you're into wellness, definitely into fashion, entertainment, self-care. You stay elevating yourself, loving yourself, nourishing yourself. What is a high value woman?
To me, a high value woman, in my opinion, is just a woman that's true to herself, like you said, someone that stays on top of their values and really doesn't change them for anyone or anything. At the end of the day, yes, there are situations where you might meet people where sometimes you might feel like you have to stray, or you might, but at the end of the day, as long as you keep your purpose number one, your values, everything that makes who you are you will always be on top of your game. You will always be considered a high value woman. As long as you always are bringing value to yourself and others around you, you continue to lift yourself up and other people.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
So let's talk about, your commitment to consistent growth. That of course increases one's value. So how has increasing your value made relationships easier and made them more challenging for you?
That's a really good question, because I've learned upon just bettering myself and increasing my value, I have lost people along the way.
For sure.
And I've gained people. So the people that I've lost at the time, they weren't ready to elevate themselves. And it's one of those things where you realize, like, I love you, you my dog, we rocking, but it's like, if you're not ready to go to the next level with me, then there's no reason for us to continue to have this friendship.
For sure.
So it's like, that is something that I realized that has changed big parts of my life, and it's people that I grew up with, So it's like, to have that, like, it's always love. It's never gonna like be anything less than that. But when it also comes to just even when I do or when I have elevated my life and seen just the type of people that I meet, and everybody's on the same level. Everybody's doing the same thing. We're all lifting each other. We're all pushing each other, and it's just all go.
Yeah.
And it's just like the best feeling. So for me, it's been one of the most impactful things that I've probably ever done.
I love that.
So I recommend, like, literally everybody should.
And what about in the dating space?
In the dating space, same thing.
Okay.
It's literally the same thing. It's amazing the type of people that you attract.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just natural. It's not even one of those things where you try.
Right.
You don't even have, it literally can be you're at the gym. I've met the most people literally at the gym, or like shopping, just random, just doing my own thing. It'll be things like going to yoga, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, every single factor of my life has been affected by me elevating myself.
Absolutely.
For the positive.
Yeah. Now, Milan, the opposite of order is chaos, right? What has being, not to say that slow, but being slow to clip these people, what is the effect on one's life? Still having these people, these energies around.
Is tremendous, and it's tragic. It can really bring you down like 100 notches from like what you've done, like all the work that you've done to literally elevate your life can be gone in an instant, just because you decided to keep one person around. One person, just because I'm doing it because, oh, we're friends, or I love you, or we've been through so much together. Like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it sucks to say that, because it's hurtful, because it can hurt people's feelings, because a lot of people don't like to hear the truth. So when it comes one of those situations where you have to kind of like put your foot down and be like, I got to put me first. I'm sorry. You're not ready. And it's fine.
Yeah.
But when you are, I'm here.
And I'm going to say something too, because it's something about individuals that are, I'm going to use the word chosen. When you're chosen, and you know that you're chosen, when you hear cut this person off or don't deal with this person and you actively decide to keep going, the result is tremendous.
I'm telling you. And it always happens. And it's one of those things where everything starts to fail back to back. And then you start to think about it. You're like, oh my gosh, I literally just got that sign and I didn't listen.
Just having that energy around me.
So here I am going through the worst parts of my life. It's literally turmoil because I decided to keep you around.
That's
deep.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna be a little transparent with this over here, right? So my year started off on a crazy foot, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying I got locked up, my car got totaled, all that, right? Almost died, damn near, like. And I don't know if I shared this with you, but the day that I stepped out, you know what was on my mind?
what?
I was home.
Yeah.
What was on my mind was, I don't even want to be here right now.
Yeah, you shared that with me.
You feel me? So now, fast forward to the most recent scenarios. I wasn't supposed to be around this person to begin with.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
You know?
Wait. When you stepped out and I don't want to be here right now, did you meet someone on that night?
No, we was the individual in question. We was already there.
Connected. Okay,
we was already there. It was early this year, January.
Got you.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep.
Very.
So you're definitely like in your femininity.
Very much.
Love it. How do men receive you?
They love it.
Yeah.
It's almost just like I said, it's like a magnetizing situation.
Yeah.
And it's not anything that, like I said, I try to do. It's just who I am and what I embody. So it's just so different because I've seen how men respond to like having masculine energy as a woman. And then when you actually step into your femininity and you're super soft and you're like doing you, like it's almost like butter. Mm-hmm. It's like butter. Mm-hmm. Just melt.
And this is kind of going back to what I was getting to earlier. Like we live in an attraction-based universe. Mm-hmm. That's from the science. That's scientific. For sure. So whatever we're attracting is what we're magnetized to. So it's beautiful and fascinating when you're in your energy, when your mind is clear, when you're focused up, how you attract the right people, places, and things for you. And none of the other irrelevant stuff even touches you. You don't even really know it exists because you're on a whole nother plateau. You're on a whole nother frequency.
Exactly. You're vibrating much higher than everybody else.
But that's not something that's understood. I think people get so honed in on, again, like the masses. Mm-hmm. It only takes one connection. It only takes being here and connecting with that person to lead to that. And we're not talking about just romantic or intimate. We're talking about business. We're talking about everything, but it is about what you're putting out into the world.
Exactly. That's all it's about. It's all about, like you said, the law of attraction and manifesting. Like you just manifesting the simplest things, like can literally change your life for the better, like in the blink of an eye. So it's very important to be very intentional with the things that you say. Our words are powerful, as we know. Yeah. But as you continue to do that through life, you literally learn so much about yourself and all of the other people that you do attract and what that can do for you. So it is very important. I stand.
Yes, I see it
wholeheartedly.
I see it for sure. So, you spoke about, times when you were in your masculine energy. Yes. So this is all about education, understanding, so for the queen that may be in her masculine energy, can you just tell us what type of men did you attract or how were you received in that space versus how you are now as you've deepened your self-love, self-care, and elevated your value?
Back then when I did have a lot more masculine energy and I didn't understand how to step into my femininity, I attracted more men that had more feminine energy. Mm-hmm. And
I can see that.
Polarity. It's polarity.
It literally is. So it'll be like even a lot of men that either didn't have their moms growing up and they tried their best to embrace that any kind of way they could. It ended up just being one of the situations where roles are reversed. And naturally, as a woman, I'm supposed to be feminine. I'm supposed to be soft. I shouldn't have to be masculine. And as a man, you shouldn't be more feminine than I am. I shouldn't have to be the one that's protecting us when we go out, or I got to be the one
The mouthpiece.
Yeah, the mouthpiece. That's not. It doesn't
That's
work.
imbalanced.
It's very imbalanced. So it always emasculates a man, you know, in a way. And it's not like you're trying to do it. It's just the energy that you have. So it's one of those things where I learned that if I want different results, I have to become a different person.
Yes.
If I want different people around me, I have to be different. Like, I'm going to be the same me, but stepping into my femininity is literally going to move leaps and bounds, like different things for me. And it has. So all I can say is for like all the women out there, when it comes to you being in your masculine energy, it's time to live in your soft girl era. And all you literally have to do sometimes, literally just pray, meditate, focus. And it'll literally come, read. Like if you have issues and you don't have that support, or you don't have like a woman that has that feminine energy around you, you've never grown up with that, you can honestly just read. You can find a mentor. There are so many books and so many podcasts, so many things where you can learn, okay, all I have to do is just be calm, not be so quick to respond. It's like little simple things.
Yeah.
Little simple things that you can use to literally just train yourself.
So you was the one at the restaurant telling the waiter that his order was wrong?
Oh no, I would never like. And if no, you're funny. No, well,
Exactly.
I have done that before. I have. However, the way that I do it is different. I'm a very great communicator, and I communicate effectively. And I'm also one of those girls that I don't like to cause like a scene. I'm not one of those. I don't do that. Not in public. Like that's not what we're doing.
For sure.
So if there was a time where a order was wrong, I would calmly say, even if I was masculine, I would be like, "Can I speak to the waiter? Hey, this is what we're doing. The food is wrong. He did order this, and however he got this. So if there's a way for you to change that, I would greatly appreciate it."
For sure.
Like that.
For sure.
For sure.
And I still wasn't as feminine as I could have been, but it was very much direct. It was very much straight to the point. You come here now.
Yeah.
It's a different way
to
handle those.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you, like, how good are you reading through the mask?
reading through the
Yes,
mask.
because like
discernment.
yes, because like if I'm stepping to you, I'm stepping with my best foot forward. I'm probably stepping better than what my life actually is, because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to pull you, I gotta pull you, not like kind of sort of pull you.
So remember when I said praying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like the easiest way, the quickest way when it comes to your discernment. For you to be able to pinpoint, like look at every single person in this room or anybody, it's the energy as well. Like if your energy is top tier and you're vibrating higher, you can feel when people are not coming with you with, you know, just honesty or just, you know, you can feel that, you know? So if you literally pray, you meditate, and you like, even if you're not deep into the word, but just pray, and if everybody doesn't believe in the same thing, whatever higher power you do call to, that's fine. However, that discernment can save you from so many different things. If somebody can step to me, I can tell who you are just by us having a conversation. The little 1 minute it takes for you to try to introduce, if you want to try to pull whatever, I can figure it out. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Try.
I love you. And this is a point that I continuously drive. Just talk to JB about it. The kind of women that most men are saying they want are rooted in spiritual.
Very much.
Whereby they are connected and have a sense of understanding, one, about themselves, and two, the ability to see what does the queen do? She protects the king and the kingdom.
Exactly.
We can see things that they can't see because they're in the mix. So you speak to just like the power of your prayer, the power of your meditation. Can you speak on like where that foundation came from, or was there like a rebirth in that? Like,
yeah. So foundation, I am a preacher's granddaughter. It's literally like 3 generations. So I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
Baptist, that's my denomination. And there was a time where, I did stray away because I was like, okay, I don't understand it. And it was more so when I actually kind of got to college. So once I graduated high school, I actually kind of became way more into the word than a lot of my other peers. So it was something that I would literally do. I was like, you know what, let me do this. Let me start the Bible from the beginning and to the end, and let me see how I interpret it in my own way without having my grandfather, my uncle, my parents, anybody just trying to feed me what they think I should learn or know about it.
Sure.
So it's so interesting because how I was intrigued by it and how all the stories and everything come together. It's one of those things where I was like, okay. Because like I mentioned, I was also learning from school. We were doing I was doing religious studies. So I had a couple of religious studies class. So that's what made me like, okay, let me figure this out.
Okay.
Because I need to like literally know what kind of power I have and the power it takes for me to connect with, my higher power so I can be able to like literally like move through life correctly. So yeah, I was at the point where I was like, okay, let me figure out and challenge what I was taught.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just have to.
For sure.
And then what I ended up finding out was at the end of the day, when it comes to religion, everyone has their own religion, but we all answer to, one higher power, one God, whatever you would like to call it. And that was a moment where I was like, okay, so this is imperative to my life, to my growth. So I just have to kind of do it.
Yeah.
And I noticed the different people that didn't understand. They were like, okay, I don't get it. Cool, you don't have to. And I just noticed that the people that I would attract was just different. The people that I, like I said, grew up with, it just became different because you weren't on the same level or the vibration that I was starting to go on.
Yeah.
So it's like in that moment, me having to basically revamp my spirituality and my religion and everything like that, I just basically ended up figuring out like I said, it's no other way. And what was the other part of the question?
I don't even remember.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
Yeah. But here's what the people need to know. This is what they want to know. All right. A woman of your caliber, right? How does one approach you appropriately? What is the way? How does one approach
me appropriately? That's
how do I sweep you off your feet?
That's a little difficult to do.
Is it? Why?
Only because I have to be in this space where I will allow it to happen.
Are you not in a space of allowing that?
I think right now I don't think I'm focused on it. If it happens, yes, that's fine. But that's not something I'm focused on.
So with this initial question, how does a man approach you?
How does a man approach me? I mean, just being honest, being true, being you. Like, don't try to come and be something completely different that you aren't, and I can feel it and you know it. And it just depends on where we are. Like, honestly, like I said, I just want somebody to be thoroughly who they are, openly communicator, trustworthy and honest. Like, it really doesn't take that much. It's super easy to be yourself if you allow yourself to do that. So it really just depends on what's going on and what we're doing.
In other words, don't put on a front.
Don't put on a front.
Be who you are.
She can see through the mask anyway.
There's no point. I want to say something because you said something earlier when you were talking about when you said you didn't want to be there, a place where you were at because you were listening to your inner spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. That actually happened to me recently.
Okay.
And I got into a car accident. It was a situation where this guy that I dated in college, and I stopped talking to him because the vibe was just off, right? Yeah. And back then, I think I ghosted him, and I didn't say anything. I just was like, eh. So we linked back up, and we met, and we went out on a date. Funny thing was, I was on the date, and I was just kind of like, this is weird. The things that he's saying is weird. I don't like it. Because he was pushing too hard and saying things that just didn't resonate with a first date or a second date. It was more along the lines of, we've just known each other all our life and you ready to marry me. This is weird.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when it was time for me to go, and I had drank a little too much, and I knew I shouldn't have driven my car. And he was like, drive your car.
Wow.
He said, drive your car. He said, you'll be fine. You can get home, right?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, nah. I said, I'm gonna call an Uber. He said, I'll take you home. I said, no, you've been drinking too. No, right? So get in the car. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home.
Wow.
It's not that far,
He
right?
even get you the Uber himself.
No,
That's
didn't
crazy.
even do it.
Right.
And it's
Nasty.
funny because the whole time during the day, I was like, this is so weird. This doesn't feel right. It's weird, right? And I didn't listen. I should have got up and left and went home, but I didn't.
Yup.
On the way home, I fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh my God.
Hit an 18-wheeler.
Whoa.
Hit an 18-wheeler. Hit this. My car is actually got a gash on the side of my car right now. Hit an 18-wheeler. And it's so crazy because, let me tell you, I'm covered. Baby, I'm covered. Because I hit the 18-wheeler and then I woke up and I was like, what did I just hit? And I saw the 18-wheeler passing me and I was like, no. I said, no. I got off the exit. I got out the car and I looked at my car. And then it's funny because I didn't have my seatbelt on. Where my car got hit, it was right here, eye level. Right here. It's a gash right on my frame by my by my driver's window.
Crazy.
My window has a scratch on it. The side of my car has like the teeny scratch. My window didn't shatter. Nothing shattered. Nothing. It's just a small gash on my car. And when I tell you, baby, I just prayed and I cried. And come to find out the man was married.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
discernment. Listen to your gut.
Facts.
Listen to that voice, whatever it is that tells you to leave, stop, don't do it, leave. Listen in that moment because you never know. I could have been decapitated
For real.
right there in that
For
moment.
real.
And it was the smallest tap. It was literally like this. And I was like,
Yup.
That's bananas.
That's wild.
Thank you for that. So we're going to close on the last note. So imagine that you're leaving the planet and your words will be immortalized when you pass forever, right? So think about the most influential person in your life and what they taught you about relationships and what's the one thing you know to be true.
so someone that I do look up to, my mother. I love my mother. She's an amazing woman. One thing that I do when it comes to any relationship, I always look at the people in my life that are married,
Right.
that have been married for a long time, what they did, how they got there, everything. So I can either not make the same mistakes they did or just learn from them in general.
Sure.
So I asked her a question about her marrying my dad and then her marrying her second husband. So what she told me was, and my grandmother also told me the same thing, at the end of the day, always make sure you focus on you. Do whatever it is that makes you you first. It doesn't matter. Everything else will follow.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Always focus on you. Don't try to put yourself, because sometimes as women, what we do, we get in a relationship, we'll lose ourselves. Men do it too. And then they'll try to cater to the other person and love on the other person. They end up losing themselves. And they won't focus on what it is that their purpose was or what they're supposed to walk, all the gifts that God had given them so they can move forward in life. You don't utilize them because you're stuck on something else and you're infatuated with what's in front of you, the physical being of someone else. But all you have to do is focus on yourself and you'll be fine. Everything else will literally follow.
Love it.
Those are my words.
You heard the
it.
word.
Beautiful.
Miss Milan came with the gems today.
We couldn't end on a more beautiful note.
Seriously. Thank you so much. Always. Where can we find you?
You can find me on all platforms. Instagram, it's Milan Elize, MILANELIZE. Twitter, everything.
Got you.
TikTok,
All the things.
everything. All the things.
All the things.
Boy.
It's your boy, Frederic de Jesus. You know who it is. FREDERIC DE Jesus. You know how to spell it.
Like that.
I am Phoenix Soul. You know what it is. RSVP, all things love, sex, and relationships. We'll see you next time. Bye. Peace.
Peace.